Hello, Ungoogleable. Welcome to your life. Today is beautiful. Please log in.
You don't think this is a grand insight? Solitude did increase my perception. But here's the tricky thing, when I applied my increased perception to myself, I lost my identity. With no audience, no one to perform for, I was just there. There was no need to define myself. I became irrelevant. The moon was the minute hand, the seasons the hour hand. I didn't even have a name. I never felt lonely. To put it romantically, I was completely free. This is one of the grandest. We are all performers, mediating ourselves through self-constructed images of ourselves, through mirrors and mirrors. With no one to perform for, no identity to construct, we are unmediated, directly connected. I'm not saying this should be everyone's goal, but Chris's story can tell us a lot about identity and our motivations.
Quan Duc's last words before his self-immolation were documented in a letter he had left. Before closing my eyes and moving towards the vision of the Buddha, I respectfully plead to President Node Indium to take a mind of compassion towards the people of the nation and implement religious equality to maintain the strength of the homeland eternally. I call the venerables, reverends, members of the Sangha, and the lay Buddhists to organize in solidarity to make sacrifices to protect Buddhism. 6. David Halberstam wrote, I was to see that sight again, but once was enough. Flames were coming from a human being, his body was slowly withering and shriveling up, his head blackening and charring. In the air was the smell of burning human flesh. Human beings burn surprisingly quickly. Behind me I could hear the sobbing of the Vietnamese, who were now gathering. I was too shocked to cry, too confused to take notes or ask questions, too bewildered to even think. As he burned, he never moved a muscle, never uttered a sound, his outward composure in sharp contrast to the wailing people around him.
In Geneva, that Snowden would see firsthand some of the moral compromises CIA agents made in the field. Because spies were promoted based on the number of human sources they recruited, they tripped over each other trying to sign up anyone they could, regardless of their value. Operatives would get targets drunk enough to land in jail, and then bail them out, putting the target in their debt. They do really risky things to recruit them that have really negative, profound impacts on the person, and would have profound impacts on our national reputation if we got caught, he says. But we do it simply because we can. While in Geneva, Snowden says he met many spies who were deeply opposed to the war in Iraq and U.S. policies in the Middle East. The CIA case officers were all going, "What the hell are we doing?" Because of his job maintaining computer systems and network operations, he had more access than ever to information about the conduct of the war. What he learned troubled him deeply. This was the Bush period, when the war on terror had gotten really dark, he says. We were torturing people, we had warrantless wiretapping. He began to consider becoming a whistleblower, but with Obama about to be elected, he held off. I think even Obama's critics were impressed and optimistic about the values that he represented, he says. He said that we're not going to sacrifice our rights. We're not going to change who we are just to catch some small percentage more terrorists. But Snowden grew disappointed, as, in his view, Obama didn't follow through on his lofty rhetoric. Not only did they not fulfill those promises, but they entirely repudiated them, he says. They went in the other direction. What does that mean for a society, for a democracy, when the people that you elect on the basis of promises can basically suborn the will of the electorate? It took a couple of years for this new level of disillusionment to set in. By that time, 2010, Snowden had shifted from the CIA to the NSA, accepting a job as a technical expert in Japan with Dell, a major contractor for the agency. Since 9/11 and the enormous influx of intelligence money, much of the NSA's work had been outsourced to defense contractors, including Dell and Booz Allen Hamilton. For Snowden, the Japan posting was especially attractive. He had wanted to visit the country since he was a teen. Snowden worked at the NSA offices at
Mic check 1 2.
Congratulations. You reject the good enough. You reject words like symbolism and postmodernism. Obsolescence is not part of your vocabulary. Every night, every day, every step of the way. The diktat of fashion.